Watercourse Agency meeting, regular meeting for March 4th, 7 p.m. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nobody here in the room besides us, but fire evacuation obviously is go out the door in the back of the room or out this door and down the stairs away from the building. Roll call.
Donna Corbin-Savinsky.
Here.
Kevin Zorda.
Here.
Virginia Higley. Here. Kelly Hemler.
Here.
Dylan Bridge.
Here.
Turn the page.
Ann Collins.
Here.
Ken Kaufman.
Here.
Chris Renault.
Here.
And Robert Gillespie. Absent.
Absent. So there's 8 of us. And I can't see anybody. Okay. Public communication and petitions, there's nobody here, so we'll move on. Correspondence, we did receive one, but we'll talk about it later on. Minutes of preceding meeting, February 18th.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of February 18th, 2025.
Second.
Second. Kevin and, okay, Chris? No, Dylan. I was thinking Dylan and I wrote Chris. Any discussion? Comments? No? Okay, can I roll call?
Donna Corbin-Savinsky.
I'm going to abstain. I was here, but, I wasn't here. I read the meeting minutes, but it wasn't videoed, so I'm going to abstain because of that.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Virginia Higley. Yes. Kelly Hemler.
Yes.
Dylan Bridge.
Yes.
Ann Collins.
Yes.
Ken Kaufman.
Yes.
Chris Renault. Oh, sorry.
Okay. 6 in favor, 1 abstain, motion passes. Next, we have our attorney report from February 24th. It's regarding all the current items in litigation. You wanna-
Yeah, I don't see on here Vermont Casting
Yankee Cast?
or Yankee Castings.
Thank you.
No, it's not on here.
It's not.
Wasn't on the last one either.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, that's still in litigation, so I'll check to see why that's not on there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have nothing until number 11, new business. We have 92 Post Office Road, a site walk discussion. As you know, yesterday we took a site walk of 92 Post Office Road. There was 4 present, Ginny, Ken, Kelly, and myself, to see what it looks like. So,
We have to do a minutes approval.
no, we don't have, the minutes got posted today, but we'll have to approve them next
Next okay.
meeting, because you just don't have them.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll do that next meeting. Anyways, so as you know, I issued a complaint that they were bringing in soil, and through multiple times, we've just had these discussions. The applicant has always said there's no soil coming onto the property. The general conditions of the permit, his number 9, was all work and regulated activities conducted pursuant to this permit shall be consistent with these terms and conditions. Any structures, excavation, fill, obstruction, encroachment, regulated activities not specifically identified and authorized herein shall constitute a violation of this permit and result in modification and suspension. Number 11, in issuing this approval, the agency has relied on information provided by the applicant, and in such information subsequently proves to be false, deceptive, incomplete, and/or inaccurate, this permit shall be modified, suspended, or revoked. Actually, he's brought in soil a couple times. The time I saw was on January 10th. There was 20-plus piles of soil all over the property, and silt fencing and erosion controls weren't done at the time very well. In September 2024, there was a complaint that they brought in 10-plus truckloads of soil onto the property, and the conservation on the west side of the property was completely cleared with the cutting of all the trees and removal of the brush that was previously there. So I went back through our meeting minutes. On April 18th, 2023 was a regular meeting. The public hearing was opened. The minutes state that Commissioner Kober asked the applicant to explain the fill that will be used on the property. It was indicated they will not be using any fill. On April 21st, they had a site walk. The meeting minutes state that Commissioner Zorda pointed out the difference in topography and that the soil will not be leaving site and no fill will be brought in for the development, and that any stockpile soils are to be used on the site. On May 2nd, the public hearing continued. The minutes state, Mr. Hollander stated, they are not disputing Lot 1 as wetlands. They are 78 feet away from the boundary on Lot 1. His plan shows a clear line at 119 that they are not going to go beyond. They weren't going to do anything past 119. There was also, I listened to the tape for that meeting, and it started around 4:13 into the meeting. There was a discussion with Agent Collins, which begins around 53:08. She said she had visited the site before the meeting, noticed the mulch pile, not well-drained soils, no upland soils until mulch piles, and there was high-functioning wetlands. She described the wetland vegetation, shrubs, fine sandy loam. She stated they did not see any decent soil below the 119 contours. She was concerned because it opens up to Beeman Brook and has concern about the impact of that area. Again, the applicant stated they will not go below the 119 contour and mentioned it leaves about 20 feet out of the 78 feet from the Lot 1. And is that going to be enough room? And he said yes. They really only needed 10 feet for the excavator and all that stuff. June 6th, regular meeting. The public hearing continued and then it was closed. The application discussion started around 8:35 into the meeting. At 13:45, the applicant was discussing the easement, dry well, sump pump, and the gutters, also the 119 contour line on the site plans, that they'll be not doing any work below this line. This area will be in the conservation easement. There will be no disturbances in this area. He discussed the swale next to 94 Post Office Road. They're going to place placards and designated wetland signs and the no dumping and clearing and all that kind of stuff. So that brings us to now. We did do the site walk. I do have some pictures of, I only have 2 copies so you can like look at them and share them. And I did send you one because I knew you were going to be on Zoom. Those are from the, no, those are from the dumping of the soil, having all the soil piles there. The dates. I don't have anything from September, I think. The office may have them because they were presented by the neighbor, I think.
Are you referring to the
The
to
soil.
the photos that
From
kind of
September.
activated the site walk?
Yeah. These are. I'll give you one after. My printer broke, so I only got 2. It's like, shoot.
I got one of the truck.
Yeah, I got one of the truck. So I know we did the site walk, and if people want to say anything about what they saw. Ken, Jimmy, Kelly?
I observed a pile of dirt in the front of the yard that looked a lot different than the soils on the side of the yards. I also observed that the silt fence and the hay bales, they were very sloppily put there. I just wonder if they were serious about stopping anything going into the wetlands. There's also was a pile on the west side that looked similar to, actually that was darker earth, but the soil that I saw in the middle of the yard was very sandy and light, and I wondered if that was maybe from somewhere else.
If I could, the 2 piles were sand, and they were brought in by the gas company when they were laying the pipe from the road to the house.
And the builder said that he's going to call, I didn't ask him, but he said he was going to call the gas company and have it removed. So we should see it gone soon. But I agree with Kelly that the silt fence was had failed poorly. I know it had the silt socks behind it, but even they looked a little watered down. So even the stakes were like snapped over. So perhaps we need to be a little firmer in how they install them, because there is a procedure that the town has. I think it's in the subdivision regulations that says how it has to be for minimum. Just
Installed.
yes.
Then one of the other things that I noticed, the northwest corner of the lot is so much lower grade than anywhere else on the property. And we'll know tomorrow with all the rain coming just where everything is going to flow. And the silt fence right there is down. So we'll know what happens
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
I do want to point out that on these site plans for 92 Post, it does look like the grading over on that side of the property does descend a little bit steeper than on the rest of the property. So I just do want to make a statement that it does appear to be following the grading of what the site plan had called for over there.
And if I remember correctly, we did ask him to accentuate the drainage swale a little bit more than it had been originally, and I believe he agreed to do that. Again, we'll see tomorrow.
Brings,
It's gonna work.
yeah, I do have a site plan from May that shows that. Yeah, here's a site plan from May 2nd that they handed out. And I only have one copy, obviously. And I did circle in the 119 contour, if you want, you can pass it up and down. I did notice it was really muddy. Lots of mud.
Yes.
Ian, you're on Zoom. Do you want to say anything?
Yes, I did. That was good that Ken noticed that lowering in the northwest corner. I saw that.
I mean, well, none of us in the room are land surveyors, so
So,
for the
yeah.
time being, there's no way to verify that.
Yeah.
The best way to be able to verify all of the information from what we saw at the site walk is when we get the as-built to come in, to confirm exactly what the grading
Right.
is and what was done there.
Yeah. And we did notice too, and you can see by the pictures, that the piles of dirt and the grading was done on both sides of the erosion controls.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't see it on both sides of these pictures.
Yeah. I have to,
I think going forward, lesson learned, we need to put more things in the conditions so that we don't have issues arising months after it's approved and done.
Guys, one,
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just my own personal
be
opinion.
on.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be on because it is in the notes and it is on the tape. So, and they did agree multiple times
Yeah.
that
I
nothing
know,
was
but
going to happen,
it's
so.
easier, not all of us keep all the information.
No,
No, I know.
And it would be easier if it were conditioned, because then it's on the plans, it's everywhere. And like you said, it's in the minutes and it's on the tape. So, just a thought.
Do they have that? Ian, did you have any more? You were,
Yes. What is the status of the easement that was going to be planted in wetlands plan?
well, they weren't supposed to touch it, so that's my issue too, is they weren't supposed to touch anything past that 119. And obviously they did, because there's new dirt all over it. So there was, plants and things there, and it's no longer there anymore.
But there is a terrace there that's lower than the lawn that's clearly more than 20 feet away from the house. It's almost like something is planned for there.
I
I think that was originally there, if I
Yeah, I
remember
think so.
right. There was actually And I think if I remember right, it was because there was a big
Tree
tree there
there.
originally.
Yeah,
I will also say that at this time, it's still kind of hard to tell exactly where that end of the property line was, as on the site plan, it states that there is a iron pin at the corner of the end of the property line. And during our sidewalk, we had walked up the side of the road a little bit to look for this iron pin. And we had mentioned, it's hard to tell where the iron pin is. We had a rough idea, but without us being able to see where the iron pin was, it was hard to identify exactly where that property line came to an end.
Oh, wait, okay. That's why I'm like, what?
yeah, you're
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, it definitely is steeper.
Yeah, while you're looking at the plans, it looks, or correct me if I'm wrong, the road is at 118, correct?
The roads,
Right in front of the house is at
There is-
118?
Yeah, 118, yeah.
yeah.
So at 119, it's going to be kind of a little bit higher than the road, but on the site walk, it was a lot lower than the road.
Well, there's a swale.
Yeah, it depends on which
There
side
is
you're
a
looking at.
swale, yeah.
Yeah,
You can see the swale here.
yeah, the swale's on the right side, next to 94.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. In the front, if you look here, see here?
yeah.
That's a swale.
But I didn't see it on the sidewalk.
Yeah, this is the driveway.
Yeah.
So we're talking this
Oh, on
side.
this side.
Yeah, we're talking this side.
Yeah. Well, that's not the, that's
Yeah.
the property.
low going down into,
Right.
would you say, marsh area?
Yeah,
Yeah, it did look like it.
yeah. Okay.
Did anybody talk to him about fixing the silt fencing?
No,
Not since the site walk, but what I can do is I can contact the builder/owner and ask them to fix the site walk, as that is a part of what is expected.
Yeah, I think at minimum that
Has to
has to
happen.
be done.
Yeah.
Can you find out when the dirt piles will be picked up?
I can add that to my list.
Well, I'm sure those, clearly those dirt piles are the topsoil being laid to the final grade for seeding.
No,
Except
one
for
of
the sink.
Yeah.
Except
The
for the
one
sink.
to the,
And there might be a pile of, it's hard to tell in the pictures of after they rake it out, sometimes there's debris.
yeah. Oh, they had a pile of like stumps and everything.
That's probably,
well, those stumps, that one big pile of stumps,
Yeah.
that was supposed to stay.
yeah.
Oh.
Supposed
yeah,
to stay.
Yeah,
'Cause
that was in
Didn't
the
see
back
them.
of the house.
I didn't see
No, in
the
the- yeah, in the front.
topsoil.
Yeah, in the
No,
front.
there was one in the back.
Yeah,
of
there was
the
one in the
house
back, and then there was
supposed
one
to
in the
see
front.
that,
That was
but the
supposed to
one
stay.
in the front is the one I
Because that
saw.
was not supposed to be touched that part.
Yeah, okay, over there.
Yeah, on that side. So. The other thing I'm wondering if we're gonna want to have some plants put in on that right side, because they're gone,
Restore, so.
and
Yeah.
restore some of the plants.
Well, as of right now, since it is a little hard to tell exactly where that conservation easement is, due to it being hard to find the iron pin at the time, I had spoke about this with our planning director, Lori Witten, and she said that something we can ask the builder to do is to get their land surveyor to go out there, put stakes in the front corners to show exactly where those property lines are, and then to also put stakes as to where the conservation easement exactly is. Because I know we've been going back and forth a little bit about, is it cut, is it not cut? Some say yes, some say no, and right now it's kind of hard to tell.
You don't know
Yeah.
until you measure it.
So
That'd be another good thing.
so we can ask him to have his land surveyor to go out there, stake exactly where everything is, so we can definitively say whether or not it has
It
been
needs to be
affected or not.
corrected.
Don't we have medallions for the conservation areas? I think
We do
the
have
town-
medallions for them, yes.
Yeah, so we could have him, the town can make sure he puts them up so that the homeowners know.
That would have had to been in the original approval.
Well, it wasn't, he agreed to it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
We
do-
didn't call them medallions, but he said they would put placards and,
Placard, that's what it is.
yeah. And designate no dumping and
The
all
town
that.
has a really nice
So
one.
he's gonna have to mark it anyways. in order
Correct.
to Put those in.
Yeah,
So, but like I said, if we have the land surveyor stick it out
That'd be good.
sooner than later, we can then definitively say of whether or not it has been affected.
if we need to add any more.
Right, so I think what we almost have to do is ask him to do those things, fix the silt fencing, have his land surveyor mark the area, and then I think we almost have to wait for the as-built.
We'll fix the erosion controls
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then get rid of those dirt piles. And remind him that he's not supposed to bring anything in. He's not supposed to bring soil in anymore. Can't bring any more.
I can add a
If he wants
reminder.
to bring any more, then he's gonna have to come back to us.
Yeah.
I can include a reminder in the email.
Yeah, that'd be good. And it would be nice to know where the soil came from.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a discussion about that when we get to miscellaneous,
Okay,
general
yeah,
kind of thing.
that's fine. Okay, anything else? Okay, good. So, next is our wetland fines ordinance. As you can see, we have a copy of that. It was very nice of the town attorneys and the town council to push that through for us.
And for Chris creating it.
And Chris creating it, he did a
Thank you.
fine job. The letter, yes. So what we have to do is decide if we like it. And then I'll let the town council and the town attorney know that, you know, if we like it, if there's any changes. And then if we do that today and we vote on it, everybody likes it, then it would go to the town council for their approval and have a discussion with the mayor, and they could possibly put it on their next meeting, March 17th. You know, they haven't done their agenda yet, but that would be a possibility probably. And if we do that, if somebody would like to come with me and talk to the town council, so we can, in case they have any questions or whatever.
I just wanted to say I thought it was well-written and easy to understand. I think the public will understand this no problem. Sometimes legalese is a little confusing.
Yeah.
Well, and I believe it comes mostly from the state statute, so.
Yeah, no, they did a nice job in defining everything and the fees, you know, they put 2 different fees,
Yeah,
so that was good.
yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job getting it for us, so we could work on it. Does anybody have any?
Yeah, I read the whole thing and I don't have any issues with it at all. I think it's specific enough that it'll fit most of our situations. I don't think it's overkill.
Right.
And I don't think we're going to use this, you know, we're going to use it judiciously in those cases where I think it's appropriate, obviously. We're not going to, our intent isn't to throw this at every single violation.
Oh,
We certainly don't want to do that. That's way more paperwork than you guys would have time for anyways. So, but I think what's important about it is it gives us a little bit more teeth. And like I said before, it allows us to recover some funds for the town to pay for
all the work.
all the work that you guys have to do in order to keep doing these violations and sending Rick out there to monitor these things that don't get resolved in an appropriate amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have anything, Ian?
I agree. Is there any provision to, make the fines by the square footage that's affected? A
No.
small,
No,
No, I do not believe so. By state statute, the ordinance actually follows it pretty well. So, because it's by statute, it's by the activity, not necessarily a number of days, such as what you would see for a zoning violation. So, as town staff, I think the ordinance is well written and it follows along with what is
Right.
allowed by statute.
yeah, I think it'd be impractical to go by square footage.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
That would take a lot more
Yeah.
time and effort to try and calculate by square footage.
And it's for each violation, so if somebody, came before us and we fined them and then they did it again, they'd get another fine, so.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they won't.
Hopefully they won't.
That's the whole idea of this, right?
Right, you never know. So hopefully that'll help. Anybody else have any? No? Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Chris, again for writing up our letter.
Nice job.
Nice, yeah. Okay, do we want to,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the proposed inland wetland enforcement for fines to be presented to the town council for approval.
Second?
yep. Okay, Kevin and Ken. Any further discussion, comments? Ian, no? Okay, roll call?
Donna Corbin Sabinski.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Kelly Hemler.
Yes.
Dylan Bridge.
Yes.
Ann Collins.
yes.
Ken Kaufman.
Yes.
7 in favor, motion passes. And Ginny, you said you'd come to the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. And I will let you know if it's gonna
Yeah. Let me know if it
makes the March 17th meeting or not. Enforcement reports, probably,
There is no enforcement reports at this time.
okay. Planning staff report?
I have a few things to discuss with this. So first things first, Donna, you are aware of this one. The Scantic River Watershed Based Plan Committee is looking for a volunteer from the Inland Wetlands Commission about the Scantic River preservation. I believe it's a preservation project that they have along there, and they want at least 1 to 2 volunteers from the town of Enfield. And to my knowledge, they've reached out to both Donna and they've reached out to the Ag and Con Commission. And this email was sent out prior to the entire commission as well as I'm aware. And so just kind of giving you all a reminder, if you wanted to be a part of that steering committee to help, when those plans start becoming developed.
Right. Yeah, so they reached out to me, and I forwarded it to the Conservation Commission, and said have maybe one from each commission to represent Enfield.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I haven't heard back if anybody wants it. And if anybody wants to be on it, then let me know so I could give your contact information to, I think it's St. Joseph's, somebody from St. Joseph's. Yeah, it's the Connecticut River Conservation. So it sounds like a nice deal. They're going to meet by Zoom meetings, I think, twice a month.
Yeah, I think they said they'll meet online once to twice a month. It's still, in the air how often they're going to meet.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
yeah, and they, like I said, they're looking for 1 to 2 volunteers from the town.
yeah. So I guess if we don't get anybody from our commissions, then we can, reach out to the town. But for now, we'll hopefully get somebody from the. Yes.
Donna, I'd be glad to volunteer if it's going to be by Zoom, and I'm down there quite a bit.
Oh, okay. I'll give them your name. Thank you.
And then she can report on
And then, yeah,
All right.
yeah, and what you would do is, you know, when you have your meetings, you would then come back and report to us, you know, what's going
Okay.
on. And, you know, that kind of thing.
All
And
right.
probably, then we could let the town council know what's going on with it, and,
Yep.
yeah.
right.
Okay, so thank you, Ann.
Yep, thank you very much, Ann. Next thing on my report, so I remember you had said that you all had said at the last CACI WIC, you were informed that the state regulations were getting some sort of update. I finally heard back from DEEP, and they said that they think that what you may have been referring to was an announcement that the Inland Wetlands Management Program is preparing a new regulations advisory that will cover the legislative changes from 21 to 2024.
Oh, so they got new ones coming out?
Well, they're preparing some sort of advisory that will cover all those changes from
Okay.
2021 to 2024. So while that hasn't been started yet, and it's still kind of in the works, they will send notice out to the towns of the updated guidance document once that is ready. So I just
Perfect.
wanted to give you an update as to, you know, when we were looking around, why we weren't seeing anything.
And I think it makes sense to wait for that.
Oh, yeah.
Before we do anything, before we make changes and then have to make changes again.
Well, we looked through it, and I went and searched, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
You know, just a couple of date changes.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
why, because they didn't actually have new.
They didn't actually do it.
Yeah.
So, that's good. So that's good to know. Thank you. I was going to ask that question.
Yep. And then last thing, Commissioner Kaufman, we are talking about your computers now.
Beautiful.
So, as I had mentioned prior to the meeting, right now the Planning and Zoning Department, we are working on our budget a little bit. And again, the Director of Planning, Lori Whitman, she had asked me about the idea of whether or not you all wanted to use iPads for the meetings. You know, given that we can fit it in the budget, we can get it to all of you. Now, mind you, if we do get you all iPads, you will get no more physical materials except for the site plan, which means the application, the narrative, the soil science report, all that stuff would be available online, and you would have to use the materials from the iPad online as well as the physical site plan. Now, whether that affects how you feel about using the iPads, you can discuss, but we just wanted to confirm that you will use the iPads in their entirety, because also the idea is that this will help save the town money on office supplies such as paper and ink, and also save our administrative staff time and packet preparation
police delivery.
Yeah, and the
and delivery.
And what I understand, they had some kind of training that came out a couple years ago, but we were never going to get them. I kind of glanced at it once. And I think you can go into the iPad, you can log in, we could log in and look at our stuff and make little notes on it
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, and also,
that are only visible
sure
to
You
you.
can blow it up.
Yeah, you
too.
can blow it up.
I'm sure you're also all aware that as of right now, whenever you get packets, all the materials are already available on Civic Clerk
Yeah.
too. So it's not like the materials being available online is a new thing. It would, save the office money from constantly printing out papers, because sometimes these reports are pages and pages and pages.
We know.
Again, save our administrative team time, allowing them to work on other things that need to be run on the back end, and also save more trees.
Right, right. Now, I did ask it for today's meeting if we could have just did it online, if you could have emailed it to us.
Yeah.
So you didn't, but
Yeah, because
what was the ruling?
I remember I was like, let me check the statutes, see if there's anything. There's nothing in the statutes, but when I brought up the idea to our administrative person, she already made the packets.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, well, if you already made them, we'll send them out. It's not that big a deal.
Police officer arrived, it's like, oh, shoot. Could have saved them some time. Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely am all for it.
yeah. It'll be fine.
Is everyone in agreement? Quick answer.
Would we have to be given, well, two-part question. One, is there technically I mean, I have my own materials at home and I do my own things or whatever, but there's obviously gonna be restrictions on what can and can't be on the device. Would we have to get town emails or some sort of official login?
Yep.
And would the IT department be overloaded with tracking information? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's a great question. Admittedly, I don't have the answers for that, right
yeah,
away
no,
for you.
I'm just bringing.
But
When
Thank you.
planning and zoning got it, you have to get an email because you cannot be intermingling it with your stuff for freedom of information. And there's a separate login that you have to, and I hope they fixed it because at one time there was a problem when planning and zoning had it that they couldn't enter into it once they got into the town hall. So that meant meetings, you couldn't use it.
Well, I think they do, because I see the people
Yeah,
on them.
yeah.
Right.
So
So-
they must have fixed it.
I was gonna say, so that must be a problem that's probably resolved by now.
Yeah.
And I would imagine you would all have the same kind of process as what
Yeah.
Jenny
And
was explaining.
usually with planning and zoning, IT came in and gave a very brief, this is what you
Training.
do, this is how you do it. Any questions? Okay. And that was helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
And it would only be for town stuff. You wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to-
Right, of course. This wouldn't be a personal computer you could use to
Yeah.
play video games, watch sports, or whatever. It's
I think you
strictly
can
for.
pull it up on your own computer, but they urge you not to do that
Yeah.
for, in case there's a problem.
Would they only work on Wi-Fi too? Like, wouldn't the town have to pay for the data usage for the?
I believe they would probably only run on Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I don't know the exact details of that, but I would imagine that they would only run on Wi-Fi. I don't
Yeah.
think they would give you computers that could either do Wi-Fi or cellular.
It is all on Wi-Fi. And when you come into town hall, it automatically connects, where anybody else who doesn't have that won't connect. But it will go on your home Wi-Fi.
Is that how P&Z's computers work?
When I was on the council, that's how I know.
Oh, okay.
So I assume it's the same.
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be the same kind of ordeal.
And we could use it during the meetings.
Yeah,
So
because you
I-
see them
They
using
must
them.
have
yes.
fixed the problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, for storage space, we finish on one, it would stay in there, so for past, if we need to go back to it, it'll still be on the
Well, it's on
tablet?
Civic.
It's on Civic.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just giving us extra access to, where we can
Ease.
go in and make little notes on it and stuff. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
But
I
it's our
imagine.
notes, it's our notes, it's,
Yeah.
no, nobody else sees them, yeah. So I
I'm
don't know
the-
how that works.
I'm the exception to the rule. I'm happy with paper, but but if everybody else wants it, of course I would go along with it. It's the group effort.
And of course, you would still get the site plan and the physical
Yeah.
copy as well. So if you still do have the desire to use pen and paper, you can write all over your site plan to your heart's content.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The site plan would have to be given to us still by the police and stuff and
Probably-
be delivered.
And police or just during the meeting?
Oh, no, you would still get the site plans prior to the meeting. It would still be delivered the same way that we would deliver it now. It's just, instead of printing out all the additional materials, being the application, narrative, so on and so forth, it would just be a packet of, all right, here's all the site plans.
Unless we could get them when we receive them, then that, no, I guess we couldn't do that.
Couldn't, yeah, you wouldn't be able to look
Or
at
we
them.
can pick them up.
You wouldn't be able to write on them or anything. I mean, yeah. I mean, we don't always, now if we have, some people have given us a smaller site plans.
Yeah, the smaller ones.
The
are
11 by
great.
14. So you could probably see those easily on the computer.
Yeah.
I mean, also, the site plans will be available for you to look at online as well.
Right.
Because we do ask our applicants to submit a virtual copy of it, or if we don't get a virtual copy from the applicant, we scan it in ourselves, depending on how big the site plan is. So,
I feel like it'd just be easier because like you can like blow it up and like make marks on
Yeah,
the thing, like,
absolutely.
and, like close it back and then zoom in when you need to.
and you're more than welcome to do that. You can use both the virtual and the physical.
I was just saying that's like.
So is there a reason we would have to get the physical?
I mean, well, we still require the 14 site plans
Okay.
with the application, so that way not only you all can review them, but so also other staff can review them, such as myself, engineering,
Okay.
so on and so forth. So regardless, we would still have to get those physical site plans in for reviews.
Okay.
And we'll be able to make notes on the tablet.
Yeah.
I imagine you would be able to. Again, I don't know the exact details of how the tablets will work, but I do know.
Yeah, because
That-
if we can't make notes on the tablets,
I'm
it
sure
won't
you
do us
can.
any
I think you
good.
can.
sure
I
you
think
can.
You can,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. And I think, down the road, if we do get them, try them out, and if we like it, if we determine that we don't need the site plans down the road, maybe we can get that changed.
I mean,
Waive it for at least
Right.
that we don't get them, you
But
guys get what you
them, yeah.
need.
well, I mean, we could potentially talk about altering that in the future.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that will cut down on costs for applicants because applicants
yeah.
do sometimes mention to us that they spent a lot of money on a site plan and then they need to revise it, spend even more money doing that, so.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I agree, yeah.
So, I mean, I still personally like writing on a physical site plan, but if, down the road, you all decide that maybe you don't want them, we can bring that up for discussion in the future.
Yeah, and just have them give you
Yeah.
half a dozen copies for the office or something. Yeah.
Excellent.
Are we taking like an official vote on this, or is it just like a discussion thing?
I mean, well, I just want to
Consensus.
confirm, do you all agree to get the iPads, use the iPads?
Yeah.
And are you also in favor?
All in favor?
And
Yeah,
Yeah?
All right, yeah, cool, all right.
Okay.
I just wanted that confirmation before,
And
I-
Bob's not here, so we're going to vote for him.
all right, I just wanted that confirmation before I went ahead and told her, oh yeah, let's do it, go for it, so,
Yeah.
all right, that's
No,
good
it
to know.
sounds good.
And that's everything for the
that's a
planning
good
staff report.
Perfect. No applications to be received. No miscellaneous.
Yes,
Oh,
I do.
miscellaneous.
So, in talking about bringing soil in, something that is a little concerning to me that I've seen a trend, and it is happening in Connecticut, is the jumping worms.
Jumping worms?
Yes, so jumping worms, if you do a little research, it's it's like a regular worm. However, it's an invasive species, and it essentially destroys the organic matter it leaches it all out of the topsoil. And what that ends up doing is destabilizing that topsoil, so it increases erosion on top of the nutrient value and stuff like that. So it is a concern. It's tough to get rid of. And it has been found in Connecticut, and it's something I think we should be aware of. Certainly, I think we should all make sure you look it up and do a little research on it, because it can have a big impact if we have people bringing soil and we don't know
Where it came from.
where it came from, and if it has these jumping worms, now we're spreading it throughout Enfield, and it could have a devastating effect, especially if we have escarpment soils or, any kind of areas where we have to worry about erosion. It could be very impactful, and
Now, would it impact like the neighbors eventually?
yeah, it's very invasive. Yeah,
Oh,
I recognize.
yeah, you can pick them up. They have a milky band on them. They're a little smaller. It's not like a night crawler, but they're big. And if you touch them, they go crazy. So, and there's, to get rid of them, it's very difficult. Like, you have to put down a mustard juice. You make this mustard slurry, and you put it down, and they come up, and basically you have to pick them all out and destroy them. They actually say to put them in a plastic bag, zip it up, and put it in the sun to kill them, and then throw it away.
Are these usually found in like topsoil bags
Yeah,
or?
it's in topsoil.
Any
yeah.
soil.
Yeah, organic. They destroy. They actually leave droppings that look like coffee grounds. So
Are these really big worms?
they're good size. They're
Sounds
decent
awful.
size. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a
Oh,
tiny
coffee grounds. I'm thinking coffee beans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
But even still, that's
yeah.
got to be a pretty hefty sized worm. Wow.
Yeah, it's very concerning. I had some questions from I've been getting questions from customers about them, whether, because, we sell topsoil, and whether or not it has
Oh,
them.
gross.
It's an Asian, it's an Asian jumping
I
worm.
saw an article on it. I don't remember where. But I remember the coffee
So-
ground part. And-
Yeah, it's
but they didn't say
fairly
how to
good
get rid of it.
size.
They said they're very
But they
invasive.
have this milky band you can see
Oh, yeah, yeah.
on them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the camera's gonna be able to pick that up. But I recommend anybody listening, citizens at home, take a look at it and just be aware that this is an issue that's coming in. And if you do purchase topsoil, find out if it's a source that,
Could you get your topsoil and just have like, it'd be small and then they eventually grow?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know of anybody who tests for this regularly who sells topsoil. But you need to be aware that it could be an issue. So,
How would you know, though, that the topsoil
You're
had
not
it?
gonna know.
You're gonna have it delivered and you won't know.
it's just like anything else that could be in that topsoil, right? You
That's
don't know what's in it, technically, but these are, I'm very concerned about these, so.
Well, thank you for bringing that to everyone's attention. It's
They look just like tick eggs.
The eggs do, yes.
Eggs look just
Yeah.
like tick eggs.
And they produce a lot.
There they go.
Wow.
Anything
Yuck.
else?
Anything else? Anybody else?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Ginny and Kevin? And it is
No,
seven. Ken, Ginny and Ken. And it's 7:46. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's
Aye.
adjourned.